Hello, Eric Plays Bass here. Obviously doing the thing in my name. Today, we are checking out the Reverend Guitars Wattplower MKI. If you already saw the first video, you know that I've already tested out the Mark II. If you didn't see that video, you might want to go back and check that one out first. That's my first experience with this signature line of basses representing Mike Watt's interests. But this is the Mark I. It's the simplified version. It was their first go-round at making a signature for Mr. Mike Watt. And it's very similar but different. So we're going to talk about the similarities and differences in a one-take review. That's what we're doing right now. It's already started. What are you doing? We're going, okay. This is very much the same as the Mark II, just minus a couple pickups. The Mark II has an extra neck humbucker and this coil of the P pickup, and then an extra reversed P pickup closer to the bridge in this spot normally. So this gets the exact same sounds as the Mark II in the middle position. Everything else, it's the same. The whole Carina body, board really doesn't matter anyway, but the hardware is the same. It comes with the same strings, same case, you name it. So this is a stripped down, more utilitarian version of the Wattplower as it is represented out today. But you notice that they didn't discontinue the Mark I. It's because the Mark I is still really fucking cool. So I really enjoy this bass a lot, and this particular specimen I actually enjoy more than the Mark II that I played, but that is up to personal variances. Reverend guitars are made, if you don't already know, they're made by Mir Music in South Korea, and then they come here to Toledo, Ohio, where they are set up and inspected, and in some ways finished a little bit. They go through, they do the frets, they adjust the nut, they do a professional setup, and they make sure everything is A-OK, pro player grade, out the door, so that when you get it, it should be the same, barring weather events or shipping events. So this particular model is on loan. As you might be able to tell, it still has a tag on it. No, I'm not that type of person that keeps the plastic on or anything. This isn't my bass. This belongs to the store that I work at. Heights Guitars in Toledo, Ohio. They were kind enough to lend me this bass for this review, and because, there is a bass back there. My very first ever bass is hiding back there, but my Seric, my main bass, is actually out for some repairs. So while I'm bassless otherwise, because that thing's really not functional, I needed something to play in the meantime. I'm Eric Plays Bass. I got to have a bass, right? So I got to borrow this. And I just wanted to, this is going to be a shorter thing than the last one because, again, all the specs are the same for the most part, just minus some pickups. It's the same body contours, same bridge, even with the little brass, extra block in there, if you can see that a little hard to see. Everything is the same except color and the pickups, I guess if we're going to be technical, this has a rosewood board, and the last one I reviewed had a Palfaro, but again, that really doesn't matter. That will be another video for another time, but trust me when I say this with 20 years playing experience, it doesn't matter. But it looks cooler, in my opinion. I like the look of rosewood better, so that's what matters. Let's do a couple sound demos. You heard me play in the intro, not a Minutemen song to start. That was actually a Black MIDI tune called Near DT Michigan off of their first album, Schlagenheim. Highly recommend Black MIDI. They're an amazing band. But I've learned I learned at least one more Minutemen riff since we last spoke here. And I wanted to play a little Glory of Man off of Double Nickels on the Dime, which I finally listened to, and it's amazing. You should listen to it, too. If you have not listened to Double Nickels on the Dime by Minutemen, do that right after this review, please. You'll be doing yourself a favor. It's incredible. So that was everything up. I'm playing, of course, through the Origin Bass Rig Super Vintage still. That's my main amp in a box. It's like an SVT. I'm also connected through my pedal board with some other things, but the only thing that's on other than the bass rig is my bass compressor from Empress, which I have always on pretty much. So let's do a couple of sound demos. Let me do some more. Let me clean up a little bit. That's kind of the rock one. Let me do in this setting, since I still have it dialed in for like more of a rock thing. Let me do the Glory of Man, and then we'll clean it up a little bit and do some clean tests and just kind of jam a little bit. All right? Go. There we go. Great bass riff. Really love that. I do want to mention real quick, too, before I forget, and go to the clean demos. This has the same idiosyncrasy as the Mark II that I mentioned, where the balance is pretty good on a strap, as a heavy padded strap. It stays relatively at the same place, but it still has a tendency to neck dive because the strap button is on the back of the neck heel. If you move the strap button to like on the cutaway and the horn here, might help get rid of some of the neck dive on a strap, but it is balanced on the knee for the most part. This particular model is a little bit neck heavier because the body is pretty light. Carina can be pretty light as it is, and I believe this bass is under 7 pounds. So if you want a really light bass that's still fairly well balanced and doesn't have like complete neck dive, yeah, this is great. I recommend this bass wholly to any studio musician looking for a short scale bass of professional quality and consistent results, to have this, because this is just a P bass. Like, not just a P bass, but it's essentially a short scale P bass that's really, really good. You don't have to worry about it. It's built rock steady. Hip shot ultralights on the back to keep it in tune for the most part. These are the import ultralights. I think that's something people don't brush on often enough. They're still very good tuners. I have them on my Court as well back there. They do a very good job, way better than your standard like Shallard junky style ones that I loathe and have had issues with all the time. But see, they're good, but they're not the USA made hip shot ultralights. Those would like double the cost, I'm pretty sure. So these are the Korean made ones. They're still very good, and they help keep with some of the neck dive away. So, but yeah, let's do some clean stuff now. Let me dial in that a little bit. Tendency to want to fly on this thing. This is a very nice thin neck. It's like a jazz bass kind of neck almost, but maybe a little bit more heft. Really easy to get around on. So, and easy to get up top too. So let me start with everything up, and then we'll go through the tone options as well. And of note too, this is a pretty hot bass, very hot out of the gate, hitting my compressor pretty dang hard. Let's roll the tone back to 50. We got that nice little eyelet to tell me where it is, so 50%. Into old school P-bass territory with the tone all the way back. I need to learn some more Pino Palladino lines for this. So this is pretty much the end of the video. Or the end of the video is when you stopped it. So, but if you keep watching, thank you. Appreciate it. If there's something else you want to see from these videos of mine, I'm just doing a one-take thing because I really don't have much skill in video editing, and I don't know, kind of like just the one-take nature. It's easy. I just do what I do, and you check it out. But if you got suggestions, comments, criticisms, cookies, let me know. Reverend Guitars, Mike Wattplower Mark I, Toledo, Ohio. You dig? So I'll play us out a little bit. That's enough of that nonsense. Take it easy, everybody.